What do you mean by being delusional? Well, when it comes to success, right, one thing you're gonna learn is that you're never gonna know. Like, there is no guarantee that you're gonna make it. Zero guarantee. You don't know that you're gonna make it. Your belief is behind it. Knowing if you put in the work every single day, it'll work. Because you're not gonna give up. So if you don't give up, the only outcome is succeeding. But people can question it like, okay, that's pretty delusional, right? Like, it's not guaranteed. But that's why the people who do chase after that are so delusional. They do become successful. I've just been feeling that feeling of being delusional because of my situation. I know I keep talking about because it's just so important for how it's built my mentality, or how the person I am today. All these moments that are happening in my life right now have been building upon each other. And it's gotten to a point where like one decision can affect my whole life. And that's why I feel I'm being delusional. Because right now I can go get a job. I can make sure that, money won't be the problem. Just go get a job and I'll probably be stuck like that for, let's say, a year. Because, my situation, I'm basically homeless. And there's so many things, going around me. And, money can solve that problem. So I can just get a job. I never really worked a job. It was always like a family business thing. I always worked like that. So I know like hard work. So people look at me and say, dude, you never put in the work. Oh, I put in the work, trust me. Especially with my business, right? That's why I can be so consistent with these 16-hour days every single day for the past 6 months. 16-hour days. And you're probably saying like, oh, what do you do with your life? Because that's what I've been focusing on. That's what I've been leveraging because after I got out of school, right, I had so much time to leverage, and I just sit there and waste it. But yeah, so I leveraged that. But tying it back to what I was talking about being delusional is like, life wants me to go the normal. I already know in the back of my head, if I go get a job, something that's consistent, because we know my business is super inconsistent, money-wise, nothing reliable. Even my family's telling me like, go get a job, don't be dumb, right? Because they care about me. They understand that like, if I don't make any money or enough money, things aren't going to get good. And it kind of sucks how our society is like that. Money can really influence so much in people's lives. Like, you can be the best person in the world if you don't have money, right? You're limited in a sense. And I just hate that, but that's how we build society, I guess. It somewhat works, right? But yeah, and I've been sticking to taking the risk to make my business work because I understand that pressure. I have that pressure on me if I don't make it. Probably like in 2 weeks, I get kicked out of this bed that you see right now. It's just crazy to think about how much my life has changed in the past few months. And I don't get emotional. Like, I just been, I don't know, like, I've been building my mentality. If that makes sense. Like, I understand how life is in a certain way. Because, listen, for example, my early childhood, when I realized my family wasn't perfect and all the emotional abuse, everything like that, I just had accepted it like, okay, everyone has their own challenges. This is my challenge. I just move forward. Saw the bad in, what my parents do, and I found the good in it, and I learned to be better. And with my mom, with her substance abuse, right? I'm never going to touch any drugs or alcohol in my life, ever, right? And then the emotional side with, I won't even call my father, but with his, manipulation, his narcissism when he was like controlling money, restricting my freedom, and if I didn't do what he says, then consequence happens, and all this emotional abuse. There's so much, right? There's no reason to trauma dump, because my story will matter when I actually make something of myself, and I already know I am something, but the world doesn't know that, and they will soon. They will soon. And that's the thing about being delusional. Like, how do I know what's going to happen? How do I know I'm going to succeed? I don't. I'm delusional. That self-belief and that delusion, but like, I'm making it seem like a bad thing, but it's not. It's really a good thing, and it's really what's going to make you stand out to become successful. That delusion is what's really going to make me succeed. This false belief in myself, and it's not like false belief. I do truly believe in myself. I don't know what that noise was, but I do truly believe in myself. I'm never going to give up, because that's not a choice anymore. And that's how delusional I am. That's how I know I'm going to succeed. There is no other option. I'd rather die or I succeed. I'm not going to give up. And that's the thing that's going to make me successful. And that's the mentality of a lot of successful people is failing and failing and learning and learning and growing and succeeding is what's really going to get you to where you want to be. And I know it's just a random time right now. It's like 3 a.m. That's why I gotta document this stuff, because this whole week my brain, wants to take out the route that it should go. Well, like, why don't you just get a job and you can probably make $3,000, $4,000 a month. You can get out of the situation, then you can lock back in. Just because things get so hard, just because I'm in a situation where all my hard work still hasn't really paid off. Not how I would have wanted to pay off, right? Low-key thought by 2 months in my business, I would have been making $100K a month, which is, it's so dumb, right? But that's when you're ambitious and you're starting. You just want to, make money fast. It's normal. Right, everyone wants fast outcomes, but when you understand the process, like when you go to the gym, like with me, that's why I'm, also trying to get healthier, because like this amount of work I'm putting in is not healthy. Like, it's good, but it's not healthy. It's a lot of work, but I'm leveraging every hour that I have, and the moment that I don't, it's not a win in my book. Because the only asset I have right now is time. And that's my only advantage right now. Because I don't have any money. Barely any money. Right? But yeah. Hope you can kind of understand my mentality. And when you see this in the future, be delusional. Believe, or just believe so hard in yourself that it just doesn't feel real. Like, why? Why would I succeed? you're going to put in the work, you're not going to give up really, so the only outcome is to succeed. But like, how can you guarantee that? And how do you know you're going to succeed? Well, you don't. You're never going to know. And that's why you have to live the process. Because you can get rich in 1 month. There's people who get lucky like that, right? That's not like this. Because when you put yourself in that position, luck's going to come your way. I truly believe I'm going to get lucky at one point. I know, because I have not been getting lucky at all. But I know at one point, all the hard work is because I put myself in that position to get lucky. It will come around, but it's because I actually put myself in that position. Right? It's not just that there's some people who just got lucky for lucky, but there's other people who got lucky because they put themselves in that position in the process to success. But yeah, that's why I came here to talk about more about that delusion, and it's gonna be a big factor why I'm gonna succeed and when people watch this in the future, because I know, right? If you're watching, there's like, well, dang, right? I'm laying in a bed right now that I might get kicked out of in 2 weeks or maybe less. I don't know when, because we're like sharing with people, because like we got evicted more than a month ago, and yeah, it's such a bad situation. I never really get emotional. Like I feel something I should cry, right? Like why me? But kind of gets to me, like why me, right? Why did I have to go to jail? Why did I have to get evicted? All these different things. Why do these struggles have to come to me? Like, what have I done? Because most of my life, like, my favorite thing is making people laugh. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. I love making people laugh and brightening up people's day. That's why I love school. Because I just went to school to make people laugh. Right? And that's what I feel like what my life is meant for. To fulfill people's lives. Even when they can't fulfill mine. Right? Because, I have a loving family, but I still feel alone. Because I know we're talking about delusion, but it is important to also talk about feelings. I barely talk about my feelings, right? But I like dealing things alone, learning alone, improving alone. But I like business-wise, right? Now I got my partner, so I'm improving with them. Now it's way better, but like this process of actually becoming a better me, I've been doing it all alone. And dude, there's so many other things, right? It's not just the jail. It's not just the eviction. That's just the most recent pivotal moments in my life. But there was so much that really built me into who I am today. And I'm grateful for it. Like one thing with jail, because of the emotional abuse with, my father, I always wanted more. I wanted more freedom. I wanted to control my life, right? Because he controlled me with money. We were dependent on him, right? That with those narcissists, you gotta become, or they force you to become like codependent on them. Right? I mean, he was always with the money, right? Always so strict with the money, can't believe that your father can even do that. And let alone, not just only that emotional abuse, but cheating on my mom. And we were forced to live with his new girlfriend because he's the one who had all the money.
and my mom didn't. And, you know, they had to get separated because they were arguing every day. And then, you know, my mom dealing with her problems and him with that stuff. And I never had someone that I could really, or that consistency, if that makes sense, because it was like fluctuating. There's just so much, right? That's why I want to make a better video, my plan to success, about my life story, full story, because it's just so important. And it's so important to me. But yeah, I'm gonna get some shout outs. There's so much more, but the main preface of this video. Oh, okay. Let me go back to the jail thing, because that's important. When I was in jail, I realized that things could be so much worse, right? I could be in there where I have literally zero freedom, zero choices to make, zero wish to make. So it really opened my eyes. But yeah, this video is about delusion and everything that happened in my life, you know, built to that delusion to actually succeed. And that's my only option, to succeed. Because there ain't no giving up. That's not even an option. The only way this ends is if I die tomorrow. But I know God has big things for me, so. But yeah, guys, I'm tired of the flashlight. It's killing me. I'm gonna go under